Hey everybody, it is Tea Time with the Diva. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, because we're going to get into it. This Tea Time is dedicated to Shannon Sharpe and Charles Barkley. Listen, Shannon Sharpe fumbled the bag, dropped the ball, but Charles Barkley just might be picking it up for the rebound and swishing it in and taking that job over at ESPN. When ESPN cut ties with Shannon Sharpe, it said that the staff was ecstatic, happy to see him go. And now, because I want to say his name is Jason Kels. Jason Kels, he doesn't want the job because he was a front one runner at first for this job, but he said he didn't want it. So that opened the door for Charles Barkley to come in and take the job. Let me go ahead and share a screen so we can get more into this story. Shannon Sharpe loves his little name that he created for himself on social media is Unc, as an uncle. Well, Unc, you are a horrific example to the nieces and nephews out there. Just a bad example. At 57 years old, you're getting fired from a job because of what you can't control in your personal life. It's just shameful. So, sigh of relief. Top name to replace Shannon Sharpe could eat Stephen A. Smith alive as First Take staff celebrate ESPN cutting ties. Sports Network Target revealed as plans to move on from Shannon Sharpe gather pace. ESPN could be targeting a big hitting American sporting legend to replace Shannon Sharpe on First Take. Insiders have claimed. Disgraced former NFL star Sharpe was officially let go by the TV network this week in the wake of his accusation shame. The 57-year-old, who has not appeared on air since the storm broke in April, has settled a lawsuit with his female accuser. A lawsuit was filed against Sharpe by a woman with whom he had a 2-year relationship, alleging that he engaged in a pattern of manipulation, physical assault, and SA against her. Sharpe was first sued for $50 million, but it's unclear how much the settlement involved. I will say this: there's rumors swirling around that he had paid her $23 million in this settlement, which I can kind of believe because she came somewhere in the middle of the $50 million that she wanted, and that's not bad. And they always say with these lawsuits, you go outrageously high so that you can land somewhere where you really want to land. I can't remember what Cassie sued Diddy for, what number she was asking for. Many people was throwing around that she got 30 million. They was throwing around different numbers, but we heard during the trial from Cassie herself that she got $20 million. The U.S. Sun understands loudmouth First Take host Stephen A. Smith was pissed, I'm going to say that word is, to see Sharpe go despite alleged attempts to keep his pal on the show. I understand you rooting for your friend, but Stephen, this is Shannon Sharpe is definitely a liability. What company wants to start out with a liability? It's one thing if you get one and you don't quite know, like, this person is a wild card. It's a whole nother thing to hire a wild card and expect some different behavior from them, especially if they're not in counseling or anything like that. And Shannon Sharpe is still being sued by somebody else, Michelle Evans. And then not only Michelle Evans, now he got another lawsuit, something he did on the Nightcap show with Ocho Cinco and Shay Shay Entertainment, where this woman that was at the Usher concert said that, Shannon Sharpe said that, she was married and the husband was leaving her, and she said she was never married, and his show has over million in his show. When he said on his show, millions of people saw it. So now she's suing him for defamation. So he's a liability. He had to go. Insiders, however, stressed most ESPN staffers were delighted with the decision, with one describing it as the best news we could have hoped for. According to two well-placed sources, Jason Kels, who has proved a hit as a pundit on Monday Night Football, isn't interested in the role. And I think that's because him and his brother have their own podcast and they're just very successful. So he's probably like, I don't need the role and I don't need the money. But that opens the door to NBA legend Charles Barkley, who is the name on everyone's lips. Charles would be a fantastic addition. I used to work with him many years ago, and he is a funny guy who would fit perfectly on our show. A member of the production staff told the U.S. Sun. Listen, when you got people that are rooting for you and saying your name, and that you would be good to work with, is on and later this year, after the NBA announced a new 11-year, $76 billion deal with ABC and ESPN, the transition would be smooth. A $76 billion deal. Those numbers just seem so incredibly crazy. He could eat Stephen A. Smith alive with his analysis and with his personality. And many of us can't wait to have someone put Stephen A. Smith on the grill and not be afraid to debate hard with him, added the source. Good riddance. Sharpe's exit was seen as a relief by many at the network, with many staffers reportedly rejecting offers from him to work on other projects moving forward. Oh, say they just want him. They don't even want him on a behind the scenes thing. They don't want him at all. Now, see, I think that has not less to do with his lawsuits in his personal life, and more to do with maybe how they saw him and how they felt work with him in the first place. One long-term employee of First Take says Sharpe is seen as a complete idiot who has ruined his reputation. No one wants anything to do with him, added the insider. Production staff fears Sharpe will return this summer after initially stepping down from his role on a popular show. The U.S. Sun understands there were calls to have the three-time Super Bowl champion axed once the allegations first appeared. But with the close pal Smith pushing for him to return, the saga was stretched out until this week when ESPN finally announced he was leaving. Well, I'll give this to Stephen A. Smith. There's not too many people that will stand by your side when you are down and out, so to speak, when everybody is against you. And Stephen was standing by his friend. Listen, you see with the Diddy thing, people was like, I wasn't at the party. I don't know him. We wasn't really close like that. I wasn't his friend. Nobody was standing by him publicly to our knowledge from what we saw. But here, Shannon was accused of the unthinkable, and Stephen was still pushing, like, don't fire him. Let this man keep his job. So that's interesting. That's a true friend, if you ask me. Times have been very tense as we were getting ready to have him back at some point. But now I would say that the crew and the guys feel like we won that battle. He won't be back, and we got rid of a toxic guy, a guy who was doing his own thing and who ruined his reputation by being a womanizer and a weirdo with women. Wow. He broke the trust we had in him by behaving like a moron with this woman. We know that the board would like to have someone who could match Stephen A. Smith energy, and we believe that man is Charles Barkley. Sharpe speaks out. Sharpe broke his silence on his statement on Wednesday night on his Nightcap podcast. He used it to apologize to his brother Sterling, who will be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this weekend. Sharpe said he had been desperate for ESPN to wait to make the announcement until after the induction. The ESPN did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that, he said. But I just wish this thing could have waited until Monday, because I hate the fact that I overshadowed my brother. The first two brothers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and this is what the headline is going to be for the next few days. Well, bro, you did that to yourself and your brother and your family. He said, bro, I know you told me I don't have to apologize, but I'm going to do it one final time tonight, and I won't apologize again. I'm sorry that I upstaged you in this matter. This was never my intent. You've been my hero. You've been my role model for as long as I can remember. I apologize, and I thank all my fans for supporting me when I was at ESPN and every place that I've been, be it Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, Undisputed, ESPN. Yeah, I heard his apology. Sharpe's dramatic fall from grace, however, is far from over. The U.S. Sun has exclusively revealed that there is a fresh $20 million lawsuit alleging that he shamed the woman over a viral flirty video with Usher and wrongly alleged her husband left her over the incident. In court documents, Jamalita Tillman is suing Sharpe, as well as his nightcap co-host, Chad Ochocinco Johnson, and the podcast production company, Shay Shay Media. We also disclose how any hopes of securing a whopping $100 million podcast deal were destroyed by the initial SA allegations. Now, that woman that's currently suing him, if he said wrong information on his podcast, and she claimed also, just to give you some background, that she reached out to Shannon Sharpe, or she tried to, Club Shay Shay, and she went on different podcasts telling people, I was never married. This situation is not true. But, she's saying that they ignored her request, and, they wouldn't take down those videos. So on that note, does she deserve something? I'm going to say definitely yes. Will she get $20 million? I don't know. But the temperature for Shannon Sharpe is bad right now. So he may have to give up a lot more money once again. I will also say this. I hope Shannon Sharpe gets into some type of counseling. I really do. Because he out here calling himself Unc. And he's not showing a good example to his nieces and nephews. And I'm talking about his virtual nieces and nephews, because he want everybody calling him Unc. So what do y'all think about Charles Barkley perhaps stepping into this role? Do you think he's a good fit? If not, who else would you suggest? But listen, guys, thanks for watching. Y'all know the routine. Chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this story, and I'll see you on the next video.